Hey, hey, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Chris.
And, oh, sorry. Okay.
And that's usually what happens here. We're going off the cuff, so this is another one of our Sunday fun days.
Get ready. Okay. We own two smart cars. One is a 2010 that I purchased when we lived in Nashville, Tennessee. And we also own a 2015 that we purchased this past summer in Spokane Valley, Washington. And it has really and truly, these smart cars, they have really and truly been a joy, a just simple joy to own and to operate. And I tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, hey, right before she started driving hers, I'm like, you really become a mini celebrity. It is absolutely insane. People stop us all the time and they want to know how much gas, how much gas do we save a week and how much gas do we put in the tank a week, and they want to know about the savings and all of those things. Mainly over the years, how safe do we feel in the smart car? And I think it's kind of funny. It really brings up this funny story. When I first got, I think I had owned the 2010 for not long, a couple of months. And I remember pulling into, I think it was a Walmart parking lot. And I was still trying to get used to the gas and the brake. And the gas and brake are just the same as they are in any other car, truly. But the brake in these cars are quite a bit smaller. And so I was coming through the Walmart parking lot. The way my 2010 is made, it kind of runs itself, so to speak. So if you take that foot off the gas, it's still going to move. It's going to move pretty good, too. And so I was coming through the Walmart parking lot, and I was getting ready to turn down one of the aisles to try to find a park. And out of nowhere, it kind of picked up speed just a little bit. And I took my foot off the gas and was looking for the brake, and this gentleman was walking down the aisle, and of course I hit the brake in time. Everything was fine. But I noticed in the transaction of me taking my foot off the gas and looking for the brake, he looked back at me. And then he kind of like shrugged his shoulders and then kept on walking. And I thought, I know this man ain't joking on me in my smart car, So I thought it was so funny. So I said, okay, well, I'm a jokester and I'm an extrovert. I don't even know a stranger, honey. I love talking to people. So I rolled down my window and I thought it was going to be smart. So I was like, I said, I see you. Look back at what I was driving and it looked like you were shrugging me off. What's going on? And he was like, oh, yeah. He said, I looked at what you was driving. He was like, I wasn't worried. And I was like, what? Anyway, we had a laugh. And, I thought it was like the funniest thing. It's like one of my most favorite stories to tell. And he wasn't bothered by the fact that I was driving a smart car because it's so super small. He wasn't even worried. I guess assumed if I hit him, he'd probably just walk it on off because it wouldn't be a big of a deal. If you don't know what a smart car is, I want you to pause this video and Google it. It's called the Smart Car 4.2. Literally, that's what it is. It can only seat two people, and you can get some groceries in the back, maybe. Some groceries. If I've let down the front passenger seat, I've got my bike in there, which is pretty impressive. But, I love the smart car so much. I told Kaya, you're going to be driving a smart car. And I just let her know. I prepared her. I was like, you're going to be stopped everywhere you go. Before I owned the smart car, I owned a VW Beetle, which I absolutely loved. What I didn't love about the Beetle was it was very expensive to own and operate. But I want to say I had that car for 8 years, and I had some electrical issues. I can't talk. And so ultimately I traded it in for a smart car. And somebody in my family made a good point. They were like, okay, Stephanie, you're already driving a Beetle, which is really small. You can get 2 adults and 2 small children in there. But they were like, I didn't know you could downsize from a Beetle. Like they were like, I didn't even know that was possible, but you did it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I did downsize. I mean, who would have known? But anyway, so I remember the very first time I saw a smart car. I didn't know what they were. I had never seen one before. And we lived in Clarksville at the time, which is about a 50-minute drive from Nashville. And I was on my way to the mall, and the mall was on the right. And there was like a Starbucks on the left. And I was coming down in my Beetle, and I looked over and I saw this car, and I was like, what? It looks like a clown car. You know, people clown on me that I drive a clown car. But anyway, so I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. That is absolutely amazing. So I got in the left-hand lane, turned in so I could see this car up personal. And so I parked my car, and then I just went and looked in it. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. So I said, if anything ever happens to my Beetle, this is the car I'm going to get. And sure enough, that's the car I ended up with. I absolutely love it. I can't say enough about it. I want to say the 2010, so that's 12 years old, so it'll be 13 years old next year. And the only thing I've ever had to replace on it is the tires. I thought about it before I made this video. I'm like, okay, have I had to put any work into this car? And I'm like, no, I haven't really had to put any work into it. Tires, and then just the typical maintenance, like oil changes and fluids and things like that. I mean, it's absolutely made. Any other car I have ever owned, and I've owned several cars, I usually try to keep them 8 to 10 years if I can, has always caused me like a lot of money. Things would break, and you know, I'm just like, man. But out of both smart cars, we're doing good. 12 years running on one, and we just got the other one, so hopefully another 12 years running on that one. I'll be excited if it lasts that long. But I think the moral of the story is, if you want something, go for it. It will usually pay off in the long run.
All right, everybody, Stephanie's gone now, so this video is all mine.
Oh.
Don't tell her. Do not tell. No, this is my video.
I'm still here, right here.
Don't worry, guys. Next time I got you. We'll go on a guy adventure, and we'll leave Stephanie behind.
Oh, wow.